The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, because this is where we explore a return to more balanced, natural, wild world. I'm Paige Clarke.
Yeah, to recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms, and I'm Nico Haan.
And it is a beautiful day evolving in downtown St. Petersburg, Florida, 57 degrees. It was a little colder yesterday.
Yeah, it's going up to 72, I think.
Yeah, probably perfect weather.
Yeah.
And make sure you pick up our Health Signals newsletter. This is our newsletter that is news you can use to stay healthier. And you can also pick up some of our Primal Edge, which is our daily nutrition, one-shot wonder, powered by fulvic and humic, nature's miracle molecule that helps you keep the good stuff in.
And take the bad stuff out.
And, and if you're up and at it, give us a call.
Yeah,
Be part of the conversation.
877-927-6648 is the number here. We'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. I say, Nico, I've decided that I just can't keep up. I mean, Jack Cruz is blowing my mind as always, and he seems to be becoming more prolific. I'm really excited. The Cruz Longevity Farm opens up on the 28th.
That's Cruz with a K, K-R-U-S-E.
Yeah, Dr. Jack Cruz. I think he's had more impact on changing my views on what it is to be healthy than anybody. And as you all know, I spent last Christmas to New Year's in Playa del Carmen with the Optimal Health Group. I'm part of Jack's club, one of his club members, and we get a lot of information. And unfortunately, this Christmas, New Year's, I'm not going to make the trip to Mexico. But Jack goes like 5 or 6 times a year.
But you are taking a nice trip.
Well, I am, but that's the thing. I mean, I'd be in the doghouse if I went to Mexico after I go to Thailand and Austria. So I think I am going to jet up there and be part of the open house of the Cruz Longevity Farm. If you're interested, you might want to connect with Dr. Jack Cruz's website, check out the Cruz Longevity Farm. This is where he's going to be really deploying and teaching a lot of his members how to really get optimal. And a lot of it, as you all know, is based on light cycles and getting in sync with nature. And we've been talking about a lot of this. And Jack is really bringing out what we're seeing in the news and pointing out, I told you so. I told you this 5G. I told you these crazy lights, the lights that are bright at a time that our brain hasn't had time to.
Yeah, especially the LEDs.
Yeah, getting in sync with the sun. So I'm very excited. I am going to go up there. Everyone that's there that is going to Mexico is then waking up the next morning and leaving for Mexico. So I'll come back home.
Yeah.
Because I will have just been, but I am leaving tomorrow, or Friday, for Austria.
Sounds like a wonderful trip.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Okay.
And
what you were talking about, it's if when you look at our modern society and our modern cities, it's just everything there is to distract us and to really make us sick. I don't know if that's I don't think intentionally human beings did that, but certainly living in a city, you're going to get whacked with a lot more things because, first of all, it's crowded. It's not natural because we have all these surfaces that we're walking on and touching that are man-made instead of nature making them, so they're not alive as we think the nature is alive.
yeah, good point.
And we have a lot of chemicals that we're using to get rid of vermin and things that follow us. When human beings are in large groups, we have rats and bugs that follow us, where in nature, they're already doing what they're doing without us. Maybe with us, but they're not congregating like, fleas on a dog, let's say. So these unnatural things are, I think, the things that disrupt us, and Jack Cruz is one of those pioneers in pointing out. These
That's
things
exactly
are really
right.
bad. It's much worse than you think, in a sense. And
Well, right, because
this-
Nico, really, traditional medicine is barking up the wrong tree. They're looking at the nuclear genome. They're looking for genetic causes. And you see people going, oh, I guess I have good genes, or I guess I have bad genes, or blah, 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 blah. Well, they're not even actually talking about the right genome, because very little chronic disease is caused by our nuclear genome. It's our mitochondrial
Right.
genome.
That's what
And our
we discovered.
mitochondria are the ones that are being negatively impacted by the modern world today. They were not designed to have light 24/7, electromagnetic frequencies that disrupt the natural electromagnetic frequencies.
Especially the white light, because even if we go back and we talked about the purple sky, you know, if we were around Saturn, we'd be in that hue, and it'd be purple all day. There'd be no night
Well, the
and day.
purple and the red are kind of your infrared spectrums.
Right, so we were always really receiving that, and now, because it's changed,
Right.
and this is a theory, of course, because it's changed and now we're going around the sun instead of Saturn, we no longer have that sheath that's protecting us, so we have to have that from the sun when it's right for us, because there's none of that. We used to have it 24 hours. Now we're lucky if we get 12 hours. Some days in the winter it's 8 hours, right?
That's exactly
And
right.
a cloudy day, you might be getting hardly any. So no wonder when we're shut in all winter long, like we were in Michigan and Canada, when the first spring day, we go, oh my God, it's so good. We go out there and lay out there. It's a natural instinct for us.
I think you're exactly right, Nico.
So-
And that's what we really have to get back to. And what I started with when I opened up this segment is that Jack is just posting a lot of things. It's hard to keep up. And part of my New Year's thing is going to be to bring more of this to you guys, because I think it's important that people follow this. And look, for me even, sometimes Jack's work is a little hard to digest. And we have to break it down, and there's other people that break his stuff down. But I think it is important to stay up to date. And one of this article that we saw that was why hospitals should let you sleep, he made the comment when he posted it that, you know, this is one of the reasons why he and doctors that know what's going on, he's against bandages or braces, because he does not want that site of injury to be missing the natural light.
Well, that brings to mind, and we just have a minute before the break, but
Yeah.
I have had an injured knee for a while, and then I got it kind of re-injured a few weeks ago, and it's starting to get better and starting to feel really good, and then I remember I had this brace, and one of the things I was reading online, the brace really helps you, and when I put it on, it really felt good and it's secure, but then when I started rolling with it, it was too constrictive, and it really started to hurt.
Right.
So I took the brace off, and it took me a full day to recover from that constriction because it was so painful. And then I woke up the next morning and it was okay. Still have an appointment with the doctor to see him, but
Well, I think what Jack meant by that too was simply that when people are wearing braces, they're keeping the wound. You know, it makes me wonder about casts with bones. You know, that injury
well, if it's
has no light.
broken, I can understand it. But if
Oh,
a
yeah.
sprain, a lot of doctors have said that if you have a sprain, just lightly, you know, of course, you do the regular things like cold and heat and things like that to help it heal. But also, you're going to be walking on it because we're hunter and gatherers and we're always moving. And if you can't move with the tribe, you lose, and then you stay back, and sooner or later you die because you don't have that around you. So it's important to move when you're injured still. And this is one of the things. So when we get back, we're going to go into this, why hospitals should let you sleep. It's very interesting. So
Yes.
stick around for that. The number here is 877-927-6648.
Be right back.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And welcome back. So let's dig into this. If part of a hospital stay is to recover from procedure or illness, why is it hard to get any rest? Short sleep durations are associated with several negative effects, including hypertension, mood disorders. And one of the things is there's more noise, there's more light that's conducive to sleep.
Well, you never get into that reparative REM sleep.
It seems like it because you're also having disruptions because they wake you up to take your medicine and to draw blood and take different vials, perform tests, do checkups. Maybe their routine is different than yours, so they're going to clean you up at when they want to.
The comment in the chat room is nurses keep coming in every 2 hours to draw blood or check vitals.
Right.
And that's the whole premise of what Jack's saying. Maybe we need to just leave people alone. Maybe we need to turn the lights off and let them rest and heal. But instead, what do we have in hospitals? This is kind of to tie off the comment we made, I think it was last show, or show before last, where we discussed the fact that we have a pretty dismal rating in outcomes in all of the developed nations. Our healthcare outcomes are very dismal.
Yeah, and well, the article stated that the dismal part was because we're having so many murders and suicides. That's part of it.
Well, Jack disagrees with that. He says it's the light.
Well, let me finish. But if you take away the suicides and the murders, we're still down in the lowest among developing nations. There are nations that are undeveloped that have better ratings than the United States, and they don't have health care.
Right, and we're going to go over an article about why Primal people actually have better outcomes and they don't have access to our health care.
Not only that, they live as long as we do.
Right,
too.
exactly.
So,
well, you know, there's a statistic that's pretty alarming. We use more drugs than all of the developed countries together.
Wow.
And consume more, and yet we have these pretty unimpressive outcomes. So, as you mentioned, you know, it is important to monitor people when they're in the hospital, but, you know, you got to give medications and vital signs, but those in intensive care units are really surrounded by what? Technology.
Right.
And we now know that these 5G frequencies are not harmonious to the human body,
Right,
correct?
And they're all over a hospital for sure. I mean,
Yes.
a lot of the monitoring systems now are not wired anymore. A lot of them are through the free wire. So they're in the air. So as the hospitals switch to more and more less wiring, we're going to get more and more of this.
I don't see that happening, though. Hospitals switching to less wiring.
I do.
Well, I mean, they're going to, oh, yeah. They're
As
gonna
far
get,
as monitoring.
Oh, yeah, they're going to have more technology. They might just have more wireless. And,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And Jack says that's catastrophic for healing.
And I agree with that. And the other thing is, too, of course, we're not putting the schedule of that patient. In other words, let's monitor the patient, see when they normally wake up. Let's see when the best time to give them medicine is. No, we're on the schedule of the hospital and the doctors because they become more important than the patients. And that's kind of our society, isn't it? It's always something more important than what really is important. It's urgent. The doctor is urgent because he's so busy, he's the expert, so we have to go on his time.
You know, that's the reason that there's such an increase in cesarean section births, because the doctor wants to get home and watch the football game.
Well, whatever he wants to do, he's scheduling in. He might have 5 of them, and you might be number 4, or you might be number 1.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
That's why I really believe in home births. Go with, you know, here's a doctor, Nico, Peter Abel, understands the problem as both a physician and a patient. He actually spent a night in the hospital recovering from surgery in 2013. He was interrupted multiple times by blood draws, vital sign checks, and other lab tests, and the beeping machines. Not an hour went by without some kind of disruption. And he's at Duke University. He says it's a terrible way to actually start a recovery.
Yeah, and it's really more than annoying. Such disruptions can harm patients. Short sleep durations are associated with reduced immune function. This is the reason you're in there, to get your immune system in order. Delirium, hypertension, and mood orders. Hospital conditions, including sleep disruptions, may contribute a post-hospital syndrome. This is a new syndrome, I guess they've come up with. A period of vulnerability to a host of health problems after hospitalization, not related to the reason that you were hospitalized at all. Some people come home with germs that they normally wouldn't have.
There's a epidemic of MRSA and C. diff,
Right.
which I think really hang out in those places.
And don't get us wrong, folks, there's really good hospitals. We have one near my house, Morton Plant, one of the great hospitals. But this is a trend that they can't seem to buck because of the technology and because of the way everybody's being taught.
In addressing a patient's acute illness, we may inadvertently be causing harm by ignoring the important restorative powers of a healing environment. Makes me think that if you are with a loved one, might be a really great idea to get an extra bed and stay in the hospital with them, turn off the lights, bring in an incandescent light bulb, turn off the fluorescent lights,
And this is what
and
I
ask the
really-
doctors that you'll control the interruption. You don't want, you want it to stay dark, and then get them out of there. Like Jack said, I mean, he's a neurosurgeon, you know, working on pretty significant parts of the body. He gets his people out of the hospital.
One thing I will say is that the hospitals these days do want to get you out fast.
Well, they sure do,
It's
because
not
those
for the
beds.
same reason. Yeah, exactly. But that's a good thing in itself. They do want it. And as far as surgeries and when you hear an accident and you want your bones set, those are the places where we really rule in our healthcare
We do,
system.
in the emergency. Yeah,
as
you
long as you
definitely
have the
want.
money to do it, or if you've got a decent plan.
Exactly.
So it's an environment that, after all, all too often seems to set up everybody else's convenience but the patient's. Exactly what we were talking about. To help patients deal with the stress of hospitalization, sedatives are often prescribed. So you maybe, because you're nervous or you seem like you're a little fidgety, maybe they're going to drug you even before they treat you.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah,
Give me a break, folks. What's the deal here?
It is really scary.
Yeah.
We make the, yeah.
You know, we make the environment more conducive to rest and reduce the use of sedatives, is what Dr. Ubel says. We need to fashion the way we do our health care completely to the patient and not to the doctor and to the administrators and all those people.
Yeah, so how could it be? You know, here's a doctor that offers some solutions. He says hospital workers could coordinate so that one disruption serves multiple needs. A blood draw, vital checks at the same time instead of 2 hours apart, right?
Right.
Or they could allow patients' needs to guide schedules. Like I said, a family member could really control that. Right. If a patient is low risk and can go 6 or 8 hours without vital checks, let them do it. Exactly. So hopefully we'll start to see our the places where we're supposed to be healing become healing environments, and doctors like Jack Cruz who are starting to educate both people in the general public as well as other health practitioners, maybe it's going to really be something that we'll see an improvement in.
Yeah, one of the things that is really, since the 1960s, it says here the noise level in the hospital has gone up. So it's much, much noisier in that this particular guy helped design acoustic changes in different hospital corridors, because the corridors seem to be the loudest. Of course, they have the brick walls and the floors that are shiny, and everything bounces off of those things. So,
you know, Nico, when you think back around the turn of the century, there were the solariums or the hospitals where, you know, where you see people, and I think most of us see it from movies, and people were sitting out in lounge chairs. They were using solarium. They were getting sun.
this was the last picture when I watched Tombstone. It was, I think, the last part of it was Doc Holliday was sitting in the chair, kind of rocking, and Wyatt Earp had come to see him, and he's there in Colorado at altitude, in the sun,
Right.
you know, recovering. So yeah, that's the picture I paint for sure. Stick around, folks. We got a lot more. In the meantime, please pick up our one-shot wonder. Our Primal Edge is only $89. It'll get to your door every single month. So get that. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at tfnn.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of tfnn.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
So we think all this technology is helping us live better, live healthier, but what's up with this? Hunter-gatherers live nearly as long as we do, but with limited access to health care.
Yep.
Yeah, modern life has lots of benefits, but it
certainly
may
does.
not be long life.
Yeah, and it maybe not as thrilling as we think, because I always think that I want to be in the woods. So, I mean, this is where I plan my vacations. This is where I want to be. I always feel good in there. It's hard in there, because when you're walking through trees and stuff, there's no path. I mean, it's a hard work, but there's so much joy in it. And the reason is because that's where we belong.
Yeah,
that's what I really do.
We really were outsiders, and I think our hearts long to be outside.
Yeah. So what he discovered researching his book, he said, we have a lot of this, so we supposedly are living longer in the United States, not so much perhaps, but, life expectancy is above 80s now, and if you're born in the low cycle of the sun, we discovered you got 8 more years too, on the average. But being taller may be linked to higher social status and strategically linked with higher earnings, meaning it's easier access to health care. I don't know what he means by that, but a variety of papers show that being shorter has advantages when it comes to longevity. As urban populations grow quickly in height, Europeans have grown about 5 inches in the last 2 months. The effect of lifespan is unlikely to be wholly positive. That's interesting. Well, of course, we were shorter. But I think that really started with the advent of agriculture. I think when we started agriculture, we actually started becoming shorter before we became taller again.
Well, I think there's some evidence, too, that, if you get out of the standard deviation of what's tall, and you get really on that other side, at over 6'5", 6, actually there is some evidence of a lower lifespan. What I think it means is an excess of growth hormones. And what does growth do? It kind of creates...
You're right. Enlarged heart, that type of thing, too, that many people have. This is an interesting thing. There are a lot of advantage to the life we have today. And I don't know if I'd really want to go back to the cabin in the woods or a tent in the woods as a permanent thing. Who knows? I mean, for a week or a few days, it's a lot of fun. But if now you have to do it every day. But remember that a couple of years ago we discussed the last Alaskans? And they are always, they're following those 6 people in Alaska. And the guy says, boy, this is just hard. I'm working so hard. It's a tough day hunting. I didn't get anything today. And they just complain. I wouldn't change this for the world. This is where I want to be. There's so much advantage here. I
need to read these papers that show that being shorter has advantages. I've been looking for an advantage for a long time.
Well, the other claim is that we live much longer than we used to, and if life expectancy in ancient Greece and Rome is anything to go by, then early city life was brutal, killing off its inhabitants by the age of 30. I think that's true because all of the diseases occur in environments with poor sanitation where large groups of people are. You go to New York, you notice that there's rats running around and things like that. Not everywhere.
Well, but, remember, they also started pulling their water in through lead pipes.
Right.
And they poisoned themselves.
Well, that's what the Romans did.
So many times we bring in technology that we think is helping us, and it's hurting us. And I think today we've got a perfect example.
Yeah, we do.
So, as a species, though, we have not been living in cities for very long at all. If you were to compress lifespan of a hominid species, 2.3 million years into a 9 to 5 working day, then cities don't arrive until after 4:59 p.m. That's kind of interesting. Except for the few thousand years of agriculture that preceded these big cities, the rest of our time on Earth, we were hunters and gatherers. Take a look at the picture behind me. This is how we lived. And life expectancy for early humans varied hugely, but it was in the region of 25 years. This is the single most common reason for rejecting ideas that look at previous incarnations of humanity for guidance on, for example, how we might live healthier, longer lives today.
Yeah, and certainly if you're out in the savannah in Africa, you're regularly exposed to danger because of the wild animals out there. But the world is changing quickly, and drought or famine could strike at any time. So there's things that happen in those areas of the world, too, that it changes. All of a sudden, you're in a drought situation, and now you have to move because you're a hunter and gatherer. But if you're not a hunter and gatherer, then when you have the drought, you're stuck there. You can't move.
Yeah, so
and this is modern life.
Right, and the author goes on to say, but despite their life expectancy, it's unlikely that a significant number of early humans died in their 20s.
Yeah.
While the threat from violent encounters with predators, prey, or other tribes were significant, 25 as a number is utterly misleading. The problem is in the mass. When people talk of life expectancy in hunter-gatherers, what they're really talking about is life expectancy at birth.
Yeah.
So there's some confusing statistics.
Well, remember that, of course, children are very vulnerable when they're young, and until age maybe 9 or 10, you need a lot of protection.
Right.
And being a hunter-gatherer out in the savannah, then animals will take the young, too.
Sure.
So there's no doubt about it. But if you take that equation out, and births of death were probably higher, too, because we didn't have, the convenience of the hospital where we can save children that probably would have died in the wild, perhaps. But maybe that's a good thing, because most of the problems that children have show up also in later life with some kind of deformity or things, and our hunter and gatherers forefathers would never allow a child to live if it was deformed or defective in any way. It's just it seems cruel to us now, but I see the wisdom in that, because the tribe cannot afford to have somebody that they need to take care of. Everybody has to pitch in. It's a normal thing.
Right.
Now,
So this author goes on to say that the math doesn't work. You
Right.
can't compare because we have different mortality rates, et cetera.
At different ages.
Yeah, and I'm not going to go into that, but
Right.
in summary, in hunter-gatherer groups, life was and is undeniably hard, but their lifespan was not as short as the numbers press us to think. If you were a hunter-gatherer and you made it to adolescence, there was a strong likelihood that you would live a long and healthy life. Not so different from modern humans. And
and certainly there's many stories of people in ancient times living much longer than today. Now, this may have an effect of perhaps our conditions were different on Earth at that time. Perhaps there was less gravity, so there's not much pulling on you. We had larger animals. People were moving large rocks. It makes sense that probably the gravity was the thing that changed.
right.
So there's so little we don't know, and I'm not saying this.
Well, I mean, we hear these stories about, and then we hear about Chinese masters, Qigong masters, et cetera, through breath and chewing their food, maybe an apple for 2 hours, live to be 252. There's evidence of this. 252 years old.
Oh, in the Bible, we have people that lived 600 years, and certainly if you listen to the Lakota, and their songs and their stories of the Asian people here who were, 500-600 years before the white men came, they were living in over 100 years old.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So there is, for this Tsimane, or for example, are an indigenous forager people of lowland Bolivia. And their model lifespan is 70 years, model being the number that appears with the greatest frequency in a given data set. People in wealthier countries with advanced health care and better diets do live longer. But so the 50 years difference we hear bandied about is just a very few years. And they probably live in higher quality.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that last 5 years. I mean, living in the United States the last 5 years, maybe not too good, whereas a hunter-gatherer, if you're ill that bad, you die. We don't keep you alive anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting. Stick around, folks. We got a lot more. The number here is 877-927-6648. Give us a call if you'd like, and we'll be back right after the break. In the meantime, of course, we have the Primal Edge, and we have our wonderful Health Signals newsletter. That's the new one coming out next week, folks. We'll be right back.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Every day. Hey, you know what? It's that time of year again. Everyone's worried about the season. And remember I said the other day, there's only 4 seasons. There's not a flu season. Don't give it that credit. But we do want to stay healthy, and we want to find ways to fortify our immune systems, fortify our homes so that we stay healthy. Found this article in one of my favorite sites, greenmedinfo.com. Killer germs are obliterated by medicinal smoke. Smudgingly, a study reveals.
Yeah,
So,
the burning of the herbs and plant resins for medicinal and spiritual purposes was called smudging, and it's an ancient practice among indigenous people around the world, and one that's increasingly being adopted by the Western communities too. So that's really important to know that. And remember, we talked about the smoke that our ancient ancestors used, the drumming that they used, the sound.
well, that's your sound vibration,
that's
putting
right.
in a healing, a meditative type of healing.
Yeah, and
So,
of course we used the sun, they used fire, they used many things, but of course when our European friends came over to the new countries and saw these savages,
but they brought all their nasty germs with them.
and these people are dying, they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, they're dying of your diseases.
So modern scientific research reveals that this practice may actually have life-saving implications by purifying the air of harmful bacteria, and I'll add viruses and fungi. And as Nico said, it's an ancient practice, and yet still practiced by many indigenous cultures around the world today.
Yeah, there are a lot of skeptics, though, attributing that the benefits to the burning sage and the incense reflects magical thinking. The practice has always been accused of being a new age form of cultural imperialism, where plastic or white shamans mimic or co-opt the traditions of indigenous peoples. They are really finding out that a lot of these ancient techniques have great value in what they're doing. First of all, you're setting a mood. You know, when we go to bed at night, my wife will put some incense on. We put a little maybe white noise. We set the stage, so to speak. We turn off all the lights. So it's important. This is what our ancient ancestors grew up in because the natural world did this for them. Now that we live in a plastic world, we have to do it ourselves.
Yeah, very true. It's funny that they mentioned the word skeptics believe this attributing health benefits to the burning of sage and incense reflects the magical thinking. Made me think when you read that, you know, the magical thinking. you know, the true story of Santa Claus is a
Right.
story about shamanic use of
Sure.
the Amaskara mushroom,
Right.
magical mushrooms,
With the white dots on it.
yeah, the psychedelic powers, and that was the true gift of Christmas. The Christmas tree, the ornaments and to light up your Christmas tree was to light up your pineal gland, or the pine cone, or the Christmas tree, the evergreen, always there. You know, when you really find out the truth of things and how our own evolution has been, or our attempt to find our way home has been purposely hidden from us, it really
And we've always had a
gets your goat.
fascination with altering our minds in one way or another.
Well, but see, even saying that, people go, "Oh, that's a terrible thing to do."
Well-
we are supposed to connect through here.
Well, this is why people have a little schnapps.
This is just a
why
car.
we smoke marijuana.
This is just a vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
You know?
and of course, if you follow stories of people who have done the ayahuasca, and you know, magic mushrooms, all these different things have their place in first learning about yourself and how the mind works. When I took LSD in the '60s a couple of times, it was enough for me. You know, I experience things that I don't think I could have experienced, the out-of-body experience, where you're hovering over yourself, seeing things that aren't quite the same, watching things move in a whole different perspective, and that when you're not high on LSD, they're one way, but when you're on LSD, it could be 2 or 3 or 5 different ways, and everybody
See, I
experiences it.
never experienced that.
No.
And
And
as
I'm not saying to do it. You know, I'm not,
well, as a side note, I am much more interested in my spiritual body than my physical body anymore. That's how I am evolving in this age that I'm in now. I'm more and I'm interested now. I'm starting to pay attention that some of these practices may be very much what we are supposed to be doing. So. But we can do whole shows
if
on
you
that.
if you do decide to do some of things, take somebody with you that's experienced it or is a shaman type
Oh, no
of
doubt.
person.
No, you need
Because,
direction, and
yeah,
that's what our
yeah.
traditional cultures did.
Yeah, and these ancient people, these shamans, things know the dosage. They also interview you so they can figure out what to do, and it's not an exact science, and you've got to be careful for sure.
That's exactly true. So let's get to the burning of white sage.
Okay.
And given the polarized view on this increasingly common
sure.
practice, as well as the well-known role that the burning of incense plays in even Western religious traditions such as Catholicism, we decided to explore the published literature on the topics of smudgings and its scientifically validated medical benefits to see what we could find.
Now, first we uncovered a 2006 review published in the Journal of...
Ethnopharmacology.
okay, thank you
That's
very much.
study of plants.
Yeah. Medicinal smoke, it looked at a single and multi-ingredient herbal and non-herbal remedies administers as smoke from 50 countries across 5 continents. And what did they find?
And the researchers found it was surprisingly overlapping worldwide that medicinal smoke is mostly used to address the specific organ systems. The pulmonary was 23%,
Neurological, and the dermatological.
and dermatological.
Yep.
They also found that ambient smoke, which is the type of passive inhaled smoke generated by smudging or incense, is traditionally believed to be an effective air purifier. And they argued that modern medicine should investigate medicinal smoke as a drug delivery system owing to the following advantages. You know, the advantage of a smoke-based remedies are rapid delivery to the brain. Remember, we've always talked about breathing aromatherapy inhalation. Gets to the limbic system. And more efficient absorption by the body and lower cost of production.
Yeah. And the smudging, of course, is a spiritual ritual, and it's not aimed at killing germs or becoming a new drug delivery system. But because modern biomedicine only acknowledges what is empirically verifiable, which does not include the soul or the negative vibes or the positive vibes even, the practice will only attain a mediocre type of credibility. So there's a ways to go in this, but thanks to this study, we have realized that medicinal smoke reduces airborne bacteria.
And this was published again in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology,
so.
Plant Medicine, and it may be one of the most powerful antiseptic technologies ever discovered. Perhaps you all should be smudging your house, you know,
Yeah, this,
every couple so days.
And we have just a little minute
I do.
left. We have observed that 1-hour treatment of medicinal smoke emulated by burning wood and a mixture of
odoriferous
and medicinal herbs, and they mention them here, on the aerial bacterial population caused over 94% reduction in bacteria counts.
Sure beats that chemical
by 60
Lysol
minutes.
spray.
And the ability of smoke to purify and disinfect air is to make the environment cleaner was obtained up to 24 hours in that enclosed room. Imagine that.
We have demonstrated that using medicinal smoke is possibly to completely eliminate diverse plant and human pathogenic bacteria of the air within confined space. And they said, did you catch that? I mean,
So
we've
you
got...
close the room, put the smoke in there, let the people inhale it, and then all of a sudden you've got not only the room purified, you've got the patient purified. That's a beautiful
Wow,
thing.
that's
Yeah.
amazing stuff. We know there's lots of benefits to aromatics, to smoking, to smudging. And we're going to get back and tell you some more good stuff after this break.
We'll be right back, folks.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN has put together the best lineup of live content for traders by traders every market day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected minds in the business. TFNN broadcasts 5 days a week live from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We have live programming every market day during market hours. Every morning, Larry Pesavento kicks off the trading day live at 9 a.m. and breaks down the opening bell with Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the TFNN Bull Bear Trading Hour, followed at 11 a.m. by the team at TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim with Fast Market. Basil Chapman hosts the Tiger Technicians Hour at noon, Steve Rhodes at 1 p.m. with the Trader's Edge, Dave White at 2 p.m. with the Power Trading Hour, and Tom O'Brien anchors the daily lineup from 3 till 5 as host of the Tom O'Brien Show. Tune in to TFNN's Tiger TV on your computer or mobile device, and you can always find us streaming on YouTube. TFNN.com, educating investors.
I found this article talk about, doing things to fortify our fortress, our immune systems. And this was in the mainstream media, leave them to, create an article that slams anti-vaxxers, which I consider myself to be an anti-vaxxer. I consider myself to be an informed person who has made the decision that vaccines have never been proven safe or effective.
Well, that's the point, I think, is that we need to have a choice about these things. And one of the things the article does say is that if you're immune already, why would you worry?
Right, exactly.
You know,
and
a lot of people are saying, well, you're exposing my kid to the measles or the chicken pox or whatever
if your
it is.
kid's fully vaccinated, then why are you worried?
What's the problem? Exactly, because it doesn't work.
So the article says anti-vaxxer parents are organizing pox parties on Facebook. I say, smart parents.
One of the good things you can do on Facebook, I think, is organize something like this, because we know that the chicken pox, even the measles, are relatively diseases that come and go. Sometimes they're serious, but very seldom. And I think that if you get your child vaccinated for these things, I think you're barking up the wrong tree.
Well, we've already found out that chickenpox and measles, experiencing these diseases, will fortify the immune system, educate the immune system, and provides other benefits such as measles and protection against some other very serious
like
diseases.
shingles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Chickenpox is shingles. The measles has some anti-cancer protection.
Yeah.
So the flare-up was, they say, was most likely preventable. You know, they cite that people should have gotten vaccinated. Well, most likely most people did, and it's most likely the shedding of the vaccinated that's causing the outbreak. But I just wanted to make the point that, you know, there are many groups of people that are taking their health, and they're working as a tribe, whether it be a Facebook group, to enhance their health. We know that exposure to these childhood illnesses lended us to a more robust immune system. And I encourage people to get educated on how they can work to protect their children and give them a better chance at a healthier life by experiencing the diseases that are part of educating that immune system.
Yeah, so these pox parties, I think, is a benefit. Thanks for sticking around, folks. That's all we have today. I'll be back next week.
And I'll be in Austria, but I'll see you right after the holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. See you soon.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters.